Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let me talk about this Little Mermaid thing because, of course, I was gonna have to talk about this Little Mermaid thing because why not? Y'all already know how it be up in here in these parts, but that's what they want to do. So apparently, Glad was saying that Disney's not doing enough for the LGBT community. It's just like I don't know how much more you need them to do for you because they do everything. They break their back even if they lose box offices, if they lose money, it's still there. But for some reason, it's not enough. So now they want to try to push the limits with the Little Mermaid. Not only did they race swap the Little Mermaid, but they're talking about in order to get more people to watch the movie and bring in more diversity, you need to make, I think, Ariel or somebody in the movie part of the LGBT community. You done lost y'all goddamn rabbit ass minds. I'm so goddamn sick of this bullshit. This is getting too much too soon. It's never enough for y'all asses. Everybody always want to talk about, oh, we need diversity, we need inclusion, we need LGBT, and then when you get it in certain things, they want it in everything. And now they're trying to say, oh, in the original one, Hans is writing a story for unrequited love that he had for a guy in 1834. Like, get get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. No, stop that. There is no records that he had any love for a man or anything and stuff like that. He wrote the story. It's a good story. Leave it be, and it has a lot of Christian themes in it. That is the whole point of the story. It's a lesson to be taught, not oh, it's an allegory for LGBT love and transgender love because Ariel swapped her fins for legs. Like, no, stop that bullshit. It is always something. It is always something. It's never enough. It's never good enough at all. And now what? You think that somebody's supposed to be like, yeah, this makes sense. We should definitely put LGBT themes into The Little Mermaid. Why? You already have a movie where the character is race swapped for no goddamn reason, which makes absolutely no sense. It's a Danish fairy tale. How about instead of looking towards popular white culture stories or European gecko stories, if whatever, how about look at the African stories? There is some African folklores that you can tell, especially about a black mermaid. I mean, I'm just saying, how about tell those. Like, you don't want to tell those stories. Like, what about Mammy Water? I think they call it Mammy Water. It's a water spirit in West Central and Southern Africa. That could be a great story to tell. But no, you gotta be like, let's take this classical white character that, oh, after that movie's over, she's going to be tossed away like the rest of the live action remakes. And when children go to the park, when Disney promotes Little Mermaid, they're going to talk about the cartoon. They're never going to talk about anything else. And it's kind of weird because a black man designed and created Ariel. And it was based off Alyssa Milano. Like, we're literally sitting up here basing these, like, the character is based off of a white woman. I'm sorry you don't like it. That's the truth. The singing voice was a white woman. I don't care what the reason is. You need to keep it that way. And now trying to say, oh, what if we make the character LGBT? What is that going to do for the character? What is that going to do for anybody? All it's going to do is turn people off even more. Did you forget about Strange World that flopped? Did you forget about Buzz Lightyear? Did you forget about Bros? All of these movies and shows that you have involved LGBT, diversity, inclusion, race swap has flopped. And the audience is walking away from this shit. Stop trying to look into everything. And that's the problem. Y'all always want to try to find something to attach it to. And it doesn't work like that. You can't get mad that you're a minority in the world. We're all minorities. I'm a minority myself, and especially being in the United States. It is what it is. We can't change that. But to harp on it, it gets kind of tiring. And it's borderline racist, you know? And people always talk, especially when it comes to the LGBT community, you always preach about acceptance or whatever and stuff like that, or we just want to be left alone and live. Okay, well, great, be left alone and live on your own, but don't try to incorporate it into the mainstream of the world. That's the thing. You can't preach about love and acceptance, but you can't accept the fact that most people do not want this, or most people do not care for LGBT people. I'm sorry, you don't like it. It's the truth. We let you live your life, but now you're trying to invade it. You want to try to teach it to the children. You want to try to indoctrinate people into this stuff. It's tiring, and it's the same thing with race swapping things too. Or we need diversity and inclusion in every goddamn thing. No, the hell we don't. I tell you one thing, we not about to do. We not about to put no LGBT crap up in the Little Mermaid. You know, y'all already pissed me off with this Black Ariel shit. Now you trying to be like, oh, we need to make some of the characters in the movie LGBT. So what? So you can lead with that, and then people get pissed off and don't watch the movie, and then you can be like, oh, everybody's homophobic. No, it's stupid. It's stupid. And stop trying to attach transgenderism to Ariel losing her legs losing her fin for legs. That's the story, because she wants to be with someone. You know, it's a fairy tale, and it's a lesson, because in the original fairy tale, she doesn't get with him. So she did all of that sacrifice for unrequited love. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want that to be an allegory for LGBT people? Like that's weird. And no offense, I'm quite sure they wasn't thinking about that in the 1800s or the 1600s, I believe. They weren't thinking about that kind of stuff at all. Transgenderism and all that nonsense. They weren't thinking about all that. Yeah, there might be some LGBT people, but again, few and far between. Few and far between, honestly. But this shit right here, demanding that Disney put it in there, talking about they're not doing enough. It's never enough with y'all. But then the problem is, when they do it, most of y'all don't even show up to support it. So how the hell you gonna be like, we need something in this movie, but then don't show up and support it when time comes? Make it make sense. We need more black people. We need more females. We need more Latinos in this movie. Okay, great. And then the same people that demanded didn't show up for it. We need more LGBT people. Okay, cool. We gave you your own movie. We let you do the cartoon shows or whatever and stuff like that. And y'all still didn't show up for it. I mean, I don't know how many times we got to keep going back and forth with this nonsense. But it's never enough. Y'all want to try to do this whole 50-50 thing, and that's not how that works, because black people, Asian, Latinos, especially in the United States, are a minority, just like LGBT. And LGBT is definitely small. Don't let Hollywood fool you into thinking that it's a whole bunch of them. It's not. It is what it is. You don't like the truth, that's what it is. But we're not about to sit up here and be like, oh yeah, let's put LGBT themes in the Little Mermaid. So you don't want people to watch your movie? Like, people are already pissed off about the race swap. Like, y'all can't even fucking stick to the source material with the character. And everybody was like, oh, it's a magical fish and stuff like that. A magical fish with a human body, you dumbasses. And that human body is still a white woman. And again, even with fairy tales, you have to still understand that story was a Danish fairy tale where it was written for people that of that race. I'm sorry, that it is what it is. When African wrote folklores, they didn't be like, I should write it for white people, because the world wasn't as opened like that. Now the world is. So how about let's tell more black, Asian, Latino fairy tale stories that are actually fairy tales that star them, not taking popular white fiction characters and trying to make them accommodate, or trying to take heterosexuality and trying to sit up here and trying to make it LGBT. I'm quite sure there's some LGBT fairy tales, but honestly, you have to understand that if you're going to do that, you have to understand who your audience is. It's very small. Because when you add it, then you get mad when people don't show up. Because most people is not LGBT. You can't make people like that kind of stuff. Stay in your lane, like you always tell us. Stay in your lane. Because right now, y'all are becoming heterophobic. Yeah, you know how y'all like to say homophobic? Well, you becoming heterophobic and you becoming, I would say, white phobic. Because this whole nonsense of we gotta replace all the white characters for black or Latinos or Asian is getting aggravating at this point. It really is. Like this crap is crazy too, and what meandering too, I guess. But it is what it is. I just think it's completely stupid. But hey, if they do it, it's gonna be funny when people, make fun of it or walk away, because the same thing with they people was gonna ignore it for Buzz Lightyear, but then people didn't show up for Buzz Lightyear. People thought that the people was gonna ignore it for Strange World, and they didn't show up for it either. But keep going, keep going. I love to see you fail. I love to see you fail, Disney, because the reason why now it's time to root for these companies to fail, because in failure is where they can learn the lesson. They have to fail very hard. And until they fall very hard, until they have nothing but a slate of failure after failure after failure, they will realize, oh shit, this ain't working no more. Because that's how you grow as a person. You have to understand the failures. You have to understand in life there are a lot of things that aren't fair. Like, how some people are like, it's just not fair. I understand it's not fair. Hell, I would love to not be at work, and I would love to be maybe a famous celebrity or a famous singer or something like that, where I can go on like vacations and like, yeah, I still work, but at this time I'm allowed to take some time off with my family and spend time going around the world and traveling without a carefree and be financially supported. I mean, free. But life don't work like that. It is what it is. But just stop demanding a lot from people. That's all I'm saying. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.